Yo, peace and black power. It's your brother Knowledge Born Live. Do Knowledge Radio. The place where knowledge is born.
Knowledge Radio.
This is 3K.
Think tank.
This is 3K. This is 3K.
I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. Who up, who down, reach our fire. We're the warriors, the healers, enlighteners. I'm tired of the same old, that game old with an upgrade. I'm a sunbathe in the sun rays while my guns blaze and they come plain. Level my level not attainable. My metal not malleable. I'm a man, didn't need that manual. Reparations is incalculable. Yeah, we want it in blood. Dead in the begging, head in the beheading. Metal to the meddling. Members is aggressive. Getting to the Armageddon. Karma, see karma when it comes to retribution. Catalyst in my clips and I use them on traitors and haters and the ones that spread confusion. Cause the devil's playground wasn't built for our amusement. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. In these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. Impenetrable armor, Orient aura. The story, the saga, get gory before it get calmer. Keep holding that revolutionary posture. 85 gon' dip and dodge it, but when they get monster, they turn into MC Light, earrings, and become door knockers. I'm irate, they pirate the culture, sell them to Davy Jones lock. It's okay. Let them think that you lost it. Be patient, this type of thing you can't force it. Play possum, but not know about the road that they can't comprehend cause the language is coded. We plan ideas and we plan explosives. Make your pockets go for more bits or more bread. The portal done open, they can't close it. You ain't got a sideline, you could cause more risk. No set birth date, no Dorian Gray portraits. It's about to get ugly when these devils can't forfeit. Ancestral memories, so no I won't forget. What we building is an impenetrable fortress for sure. Every show is just like a courtship and my flow for sure. Tighter than your gal's corset. It's okay. We are the source, you can't outsource it. Even Spartans don't want no parts, man. What do you know? Before you know it, 3,000 wild Africans at your doorstep. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. No, we will not cower while the rest they play safe. We will move with God's power. This is not for play. I know my ancestors play the Orient. Peace to you, love. Once they dangerous and stay safe. AKAs and AKs coming to make their case. Like the race like take case. They dangerous and stay
These
safe.
brothers just walk up on me, and they're just like, you can just see the hunger in their eyes. Like as soon as you know what I mean? They was like, yo, we a group, and we think that you would fuck with us, and I'm telling you, like, we nice, and just give us a fucking chance type of shit,
Yeah, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Do Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Alive. I'm here in the building once again with the revenge of the Akatas. Okay? As a matter of fact, before I even introduce the guy, man, I just need y'all to know how nice he is. One of the vanguards for the Akatas right here. Let's
that
go.
war coming is us against them. My fucking AK is gonna go Akatas. That's when my shit gonna ring out, nigga.
You gotta chill, man. Put the gun down, man.
Yeah. Revenge of the Akatas. Smash the elements. Y'all. Africans, Caribbeans, essays, Asians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, white boys, Jamaicans, Latinx, Arabs, native tribes, Haitians. All these motherfuckers been secretly hating. This for the 10th class, not for the riders in the diaspora. No disrespect to you, but we gotta provide some order. I know they told you stay away from the Akatas, but mama should've warned you not to play with the Akatas. We them Yankee boys, and I'ma say that shit frankly, boy. My family built this fucking country, you should thank me, boy. This block me entro tu mejora, la raza. Keep that shit in your country and don't bring it to me casa. All that colorism in these racial caste systems. All across Asia, the darkest ones be the victims. India, they untouchable, they mean that shit literal. But here on US soil, we unfuckwittable. Exceptional people, respect to the Negro. Before you get your green card, we double checking your ego. That bulletproof glass in Arab stores, stop buying them cigarellos, we take that as war. They like to call us Abids and Jareds, but East Africa is in shambles, the hypocrisy's weird. Your economy's weird, bankrupt, so you gotta flee here. We embrace you with open arms, now it's obviously clear, we unappreciated. All that sucker shit is for leeches, ain't it? I think it's time that we get reacquainted. Foundational black Americans, we the ones that be moving culture. So sit your ass in the goofy corner. When we talking about reparations, it ain't up for debate. It's a blood that owed to descendants for the enslavement. But you can call us freedmen for legislation, just like y'all compensated Asians with no hesitation. But permanent underclass is our designation. We can't accept replacement in the country we created. Which brings me to all these neo-Nazi Ukrainians. We are not them docile Africans y'all be playing with. Nah, these niggas built different. They wonder how we still kicking after centuries of being in the fields picking cotton and indigo. Shout out to the Seminoles and Gullah Geechees. Hey, what that reparations hitting for? And if you didn't vote, I fuck with you, nigga. Cause if it's up, then it's stuck, so get comfortable, nigga. And if you didn't vote, I fuck with you, nigga. Cause if it's up, then it's stuck, so get comfortable, nigga. Africans, Caribbeans, essays, Asians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, white boys, Jamaicans, Latinx, Arabs, native tribes, Haitians. All these motherfuckers been secretly hating.
We're not asking for anything, we're not asking for anything, but all we want is what's ours. You know, this revolution is built with so many
All we want is what's ours, man. All we want is what's ours. Peace to the God, knowledge born Allah, man. I appreciate you having me on once again. It's always an honor and a pleasure. Come on, do the knowledge radio, man. You have some of the who's who, some of the most esteemed guests on your joint, man. So, you know, it's an honor when you have me on, man. I appreciate you.
It's the revenge of the Akatas, man. You know what I'm saying? One side for the cotton pickers out here, because evidently folks they think that they can roll with us until it suits their interests. You see what I'm saying? They can be adjacent. They can operate in that space of adjacency, you know, for when it's convenient, but when it's real, where they at though? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Where they at though? So they'll come with hot sauce. They'll come with greens in their tub. You understand what I'm saying? They'll come mimicking your style. You know what I'm saying? They hear you say one word, then here they come with your words, trying to flip it and bounce it.
That
sounded right first of all. You know what I'm saying? That's it right there. So literally, we're here to discuss an identity crisis of identity politics. You see what I'm saying? Folks think that they could roll with you and hang with you until it's time to really get down. And then when it's time to get down, everybody's gone. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody is gone. Like, you turned around and nobody was there, but everybody was there. So systematically, I wanted to ask you in regards to hip hop, in regards to foundational Black American history, what continues to give you the gumption and the intestinal fortitude to push out there. You see what I'm saying? Because it ain't popular, it ain't popping. The other side is pop. It looks like it's popping. You understand what I'm saying? So you can easily say, well, you know, I'm saying we all from Africa, all that old crazy shit that they be talking. You understand what I'm saying? All that nut shit that they be talking. But when it comes to the real, they quiet, they're real silent. So what makes you, out there?
Just walking in my divine purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what I was put here to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to force it. It's natural. You know what I'm saying? Because I always been amongst the elite. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the minority. Just because we have smaller numbers doesn't mean that we the minority. You know what I'm saying? We the elite. You know what I'm saying? Because power comes from being exclusive, not inclusive. You know what I'm saying? And so that always been the case. You know that. That's why we refer to as the 5%. You know what I'm saying? Because we always been less in numbers. You know what I'm saying? Those of us who
walk with their eyes wide open, those of us who understand what need to be understood, the time and what must be done. We always been in the minority, and we always been looked at somewhat as an outcast class, as a rebel class. You know what I'm saying? And I feel comfortable in that. I feel comfortable in that position. You know what I'm saying? Ever since, you know, as a child, I didn't fit in. You know what I mean? In the classroom, I didn't fit in. I was always a little bit different. I had questions. You couldn't just tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? I got questions that you got to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Critical thinking. Everybody's not a critical thinker. Most people are not critical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? And so, like you were saying, you know, we got a lot of cosplayers out here, and it's important that we protect our culture. So that's part of what keeps me going, because it's important, it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to erase us, and they're trying to bury us, and they're trying to replace us. You know what I mean? That's the reason why we use the term tether. You know what I'm saying? When we refer to, you know, the non-FBA people who have that mindset. And that's the thing that people need to pay attention to, especially when you hear the song Revenge of the Akata, it lays it out. So nobody should have an argument with what we standing on, because the first line clears everything up. This for the tether class, not for the riders in the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I appreciate being on your platform to have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I know and understand you, you know what I'm saying, 5% first and foremost, you know what I'm saying, nation of gods and earths, you know what I'm saying? But also, you know, you a Pan-African brother, you know what I'm saying? You wave the red, black, and green, but you're not under any illusions. You understand what it is, you know what I'm saying? And you understand exactly where we coming from, and there's no conflict about us circling our wagons around our culture. There's no conflict with that, and still being in tune with brothers and sisters around the globe who resonate with us, though, on the same wavelength, in the same mindset, though. That's the important thing. We can't just look at melanin and think we could just link up with everybody just based on melanin. You know what I'm saying? Just based on phenotype and all of that. Just based on all of us being oppressed by the same oppressor. Even that is not, that won't even suffice. You understand? Because it's not about how the white supremacists look at us collectively. It's about how do we look at them. And the problem is, there's too many people within foundational Black American society. Of course, we have that problem too, but we've always addressed that problem in our culture. That's always been a part of our culture, to address the people who are off code. That's why we have terms like coon and sambo and all of these other terms, so that we make these people become lepers within our society. We don't allow them to just fester and come amongst us and be able to sabotage our movements and the things that we're trying to get done. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to keep that same energy when it comes to the non-FBAs. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about them is they have the system on their side as well. Because the foundational Black Americans, we have been the number one threat to the structure of white supremacy. We have been the number one threat. We the tip of the spear. And so they understand that they could utilize all of these off-code people that don't come from our culture, and supplant them and have them play us, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They have the ability to platform them, you know what I'm saying, and have them speak for us. They're the puppeteers, having people who are not from our lineage, not from our culture, speak for us and speak against us at the same time. And so it's absolutely necessary that, you know what I'm saying, we get on code and we keep beating this drum about our unique culture, about us being an exceptional people. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson.
Yeah, I thought I was tripping. Lord. Word is bond. I thought I was tripping when I saw certain stuff and I was looking. For instance, when I seen the Harriet joint, I thought I was tripping. The Harriet movie, I thought I was tripping.
Right?
You understand? I thought I was tripping. When I seen Judas and the Black Messiah, I thought I was tripping. Then I looked back through the Pantheon I'm like, nah, I'm not tripping. This dude from The Wire, this dude over here, this dude over there, this girl over here, this girl over there. I'm looking and seeing the encircling to where is I can be around you and seek to mimic you and cosplay you in front of the world, and they'll applaud for it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll applaud for it. I'm looking, I'm like, yo, this dude an All American. This like, how did these people just sneak? Like the show's called All American, right?
Right.
And it's supposed to be based off this dude from California. Where
Is
this
that
dude
the,
come
is
from?
that
The
the one?
UK.
Is that the one with Tay Diggs,
Yeah.
the
So
football show?
yeah, this the
Yeah.
football show, right? This the football show right here. You get somebody who never played football in their life. They don't even have a concept of football. Football means something different over there.
Mm,
To come to California, right? And supplant himself in the society. So him and that other dude that was on Snowfall, that show that everybody loved, right? Get to cosplay Black American men in California. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So this becomes the voice box and the speak. So whether it's him, Daniel Kuya, or any of those cats from the UK that's over there, and the antagonist for these one is a Black American that they could have used in the role that they were seeking to portray, not somebody that they had to train up and how to sound or get with Dub C or somebody, some damn voice coach or some vocal coach to try to mimic what somebody sounds like. You got everybody else in these scenes that's from there, looking at somebody trying to mimic them and applauding it. You understand what I'm saying? So these folks get to stay around. So when I seen this, you know, uh, move that they was doing, similar to the hip hop situation, similar to the identity politics situation, you could put somebody that's ambiguous in front of us and we just applaud. We just happy to see this in the space, calling it representation
Right.
with no connection to you whatsoever, except for this right here. So when it comes to issues of representation in front of the world, they don't show you, they show whatever little bot that they can get to try to mimic you in front of the world. So even your heroes and your sheroes, you like, yeah, I'm going to go see Harriet. Like, who the fuck is that? Oh, I'm going to see Fred Hampton Sr. Who the fuck is that? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's a mind job to show you that before the world, you are unqualified to be yourself, and you are yourself, and they come to you for everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you said it, I'm looking, I'm doing the knowledge. I'm like, yo, God is on it. So you, Lord Jamar, shout out to Lord Jamar,
Shout out to
Black
Lord
Dot,
Jamal.
have been very vital in this fight to regain something that we didn't think we had to discuss. So I'm gonna pause right there,
That's
let you go in because that's very critical mass right there.
indeed. That's extremely significant. The last part that you said right there, we didn't think that it was even a conversation that needed to be had. We didn't understand how important it was, and because the reason why it's important for us to have the conversation is not so much to give these people the lashing that they do deserve. It's really for us because too many of us don't understand our exceptionalism. Too many of us don't understand our uniqueness and our impact on the globe and what we brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? And so that creates a a low group self-esteem overall. And so that's why we allow a lot of these things to happen and we don't give no pushback, is because of that low group self-esteem. And so this is a cultural revolution that's building up that self-esteem, and we getting some straightening. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, if it was just a movie or if it was just a TV show, if it was just entertainment, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But we understand that media is warfare. And so we had to ask ourselves the question, why? Why are they doing this? Why are they overlooking all the qualified brothers and sisters who are from the soil and choosing these other people to play in these roles? You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is because, like I said earlier, we the tip of the spear. We the number one threat to the system. And so, number one, giving us a platform and giving us resources, they understand that too many of us use that platform and those resources to fight against them. We use our platforms and our resources to empower each other to go against the system and start to create our own systems. Too many of us do that. Not enough from where we stand. Not enough of us do it, but from where they stand, too many of us. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one reason why they do it. The other reason is because the people who are not from our lineage, they don't have the same gripe and the same grievance towards the American system specifically. They're not fighting the system back in their homelands anyway. They look at America as the land of milk and honey and the American dream and all of this stuff. And so just them having the opportunity to come over here and be elevated, that's enough for them. They're satisfied with that. You know what I'm saying? It's better than where they come from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Peace to
So
the God, Lord Jamar in the building, man. Check him out. Peace to the
indeed,
God.
indeed. Peace of the God, Lord Jamal.
True Vanguard.
Absolutely.
FBA. True Vanguard for B1. True Vanguard for real hip hop and then true.
Absolutely. One of my heroes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I got a chance to even explain this to the God when I did chop it up with him on the live. But the reason why my name is Sincere has to do with Brand Nubians. You know what I'm saying? Brand Nubians is part of the reason why I got knowledge of self in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So when I first got the lessons, my name was actually Born Shabazz Allah. You know what I'm saying? But as I developed and came into a more understanding of who I was, I became Sincere Love to God. But the name Sincere, the first time I ever heard that was on the Brand Nubian records. You know, at the end of every record, when they did the shout out, Sincere, the God is in here. That's the foundation right there. You know what I'm saying? So definitely peace of the God, Lord Jamal. You know what I mean?
On side for the God. What is wrong?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, it's very strategic what they do. You know what I'm saying? It's very systematic the way that they utilize these people to play as us. And I'm not just saying play as us in the movies and in the TV shows. I'm talking about in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, this goes into the identity politic game. We dealing with this right now with presidential candidate Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? She out here running around with the collard greens, running through the airport with the collard greens and wearing Timbs and Converse and trying to use slang and talking about she out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Now she's a black woman. All of a sudden, she's being promoted as the sister girl. She went to a HBCU and she's an AKA and all of this stuff. They're trying to credentialize her amongst black society in order to keep us on that treadmill, going nowhere. Knowing and understanding that this woman is not from our culture. She doesn't have our lineage, and she damn sure is not going to do a damn thing for us. Her track record alone proves that. Because don't get me wrong, just because somebody's not from the lineage don't mean they can't be on code. Don't mean that they can't be an ally. But we know and understand the position that she has already been playing, throughout her political career. She's not the one. You know what I'm saying? And they already ran this play with Barack Obama. That was the really to be not on this is the first time they ran the play on a high level like that. They've been sneaking it in there, you know what I'm saying, for decades now. But that's when it really went into full overdrive, you know what I'm saying, when they gave us Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? That's when you started seeing it more heavy in Hollywood. That's when you started to see it more heavy in the sports arenas. All of the places where foundational Black Americans have dominated those arenas, they started to look overseas. They started to look elsewhere to develop the talent to try to replace us, because like I said, too many of us get those resources and get those platforms and use it to go against them. And so they had to come up with a strategy to try to thwart that.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So when they said that the Daniel, the dude that they had in the movie playing Martin Luther King, you see what I'm saying? He said when he seen that, he said he was done. So they could switch it up. So my man could play Stringer Bell and he could play Nelson Mandela. You understand what I'm saying? But Denzel Washington played Steve Biko in Cry Freedom, and they weren't having it. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was vocal about it, they looked at me crazy, like, "Yo, I'm saying, yo, you the Pan African dude, man. I thought black was black. No, that's not how that works. That is not how that works. These these people that they're portraying have families and lives. So you telling me that you could go snatch somebody up out of the blue and just put a suit on him and anchor his hair a certain kind of way when he was just supposed to be acceptable. You see what I'm saying? Like, so for all of those ones we're here, you skip over them and then you take our image and our likeness and transpose it onto another image and likeness. Nah, you can't go to the UK and say I'm playing whomever from the UK. You understand what I'm saying? Like Wyclef couldn't even go to Haiti and say he was running for office over there. You understand? They're like, nah, son, get up out of here with all of that. So for like a Wyclef, for like an Akon and all of those guys who was leeching on to black culture, when they got what they was looking for, you seen them all turn their back. You understand what I'm saying? So the vanguard has to stay in place because that's very important. So you can come around and be a participant and quote unquote all of that. It could go from the 6 human families of the planet Earth. But when the original says giving credit where credit is due, how could anybody be up in arms about that unless there's a real underlying issue? And we lived through the issues. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to have you here. I'm from Jersey. We don't have peaceful black and brown situations. We never had them. You understand what I'm saying? We never had them. So I would never ever close my eyes and act as if there was some kumbaya type situation because the music came on. It ain't work like that. If everything was everything, we wouldn't have Puerto Rican neighborhoods. We had Puerto Rican neighborhoods. We had Dominican neighborhoods. We had Cuban neighborhoods. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't love when we seen each other. It was on sight when we seen each other. No different than some of these other places, whether it was any aspect of the Caribbean. It wasn't a fruitful situation. You see what I'm saying? You go to South America, you have the same issues. They got their own issues amongst each other, but we are not turning a blind eye to some of these other things that we witnessed and that we lived through. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm being called the N-word, you understand? Them talking crazy about you in Spanish, and then your friend that's supposed to be your friend looking at you like, oh, he ain't mean nothing, no, I ain't say nothing, no. They ain't tell you what they said. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So we can't be confused. I know some folks might have had a utopian type of experience, and I indict the black movements for falling asleep at the wheel and allowing certain entities to come in because of numbers and because of finance. Nobody could ever be a brother to you other than your brother. Now, what you said about the ally situation, it's nuanced. And knowing that they're an ally, that means that they can be more of an enemy to you because you've given them access to intelligence. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm talking from a war strategy from what I live. You're giving your allies intel about your capabilities in hopes that they join you. That can be your downfall. You see what I'm saying? So looking at
even
the
word, pardon me, not to cut your wisdom, but even using the word ally, I would say is a overstatement or a misnomer or whatever, because in reality, you can't have an allyship with an individual. Allyships are formed amongst groups. You know what I'm saying? So just because me and this cat cool over here, that's not really an ally. That's just my homeboy. that don't mean that our groups, you know what I'm saying, are cohesive with each other. You know what I'm saying? Me and him is just cool. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm a foundational Black American, and he's a Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to it, he's gonna do what's best for his community, and I need to do what's best for mine.
Word up.
Because our communities are not in sync with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. That's a lie that has been told for way too long. You know what I'm saying? We see it happening now, with the whole hip hop conversation, with the attempted sabotage on the documentary film that Tariq Nasheed did, the microphone check joint. And now they coming out with something now where they talking about they the co-creators of house music. You know what I'm saying? They taking it there now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's them showing their colors. You understand what I'm saying? The brother Baja, I know I'm from around the way. I ain't have to say North. Somebody said it for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so literally we know these neighborhoods and we know the tumultuous relationships we had. We can't forget that. You understand what I'm saying? We can't forget that. We can't act as if this revisionism that's taking place. That's another thing. Like, we already had to go through it with all these other aspects of our history and our culture. They're already revising and whitewashing and taking stuff off of the joint. Now this is something. Hip hop happens as a answer to the void of music being taken out of the school, musical instruments being taken out of the school. So in the space of this uprising, this was a revolt. This was a response. This was an answer to the depravity that we were facing. You see what I'm saying? So out of those annals is where hip hop comes from. So if you're not subjected to that, you was already subjected to a Holocaust. Now you're talking about a musical cost that's happening and taking place. We're not looking at it. So we're looking through all of the genres of music in the entertainment industry. Then we're looking at Hollywood. What saved Hollywood? Who was responsible for saving Hollywood? Hollywood was bankrupt. Right. The entertainment industry would have been bankrupt if it wasn't for Black music. You see what I'm saying? So you talk about Black music as a whole, then you start looking at hip hop in specific. We're not assigning the proper properties in regards to the place. And all we're saying is we the fathers and mothers of civilization. So when we say that, there's a blatant attempt to, whitewash that and make that look unalike. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody has their heroes and their sheroes until we start talking about our heroes and our sheroes in regards to our culture. And when we look at our elders and some of those organizations existed in a space for a platform from a political base. So they align themselves with some people and some things in regards to that they learned later on was detrimental to them. So we can't, if we don't take a lesson from history, we don't to repeat it. So how many times can we watch these cycles happen where something happens with us and nobody comes? There's no aid, there's no ally, there's none of that. You understand what I'm saying? And we champion everybody else's causes. Black American resistance was the reason for West Africa being freed between 57 and 70. The reason for disabled signs that you see. You understand what I'm saying? And even if the rainbow-ness that's going on. So all of the world benefits from the resistance of Black people in America in particular.
Right.
And when we make an outcry to the world, there's no refuge. So it's like, it's time to close the doors, fam. How many times you gonna get burnt out there before you learn your lesson? So regards to your history, regards to your heritage, regards to your culture, you have to be able to close those doors, especially around this, what you name that theme in regards to reparations. Reparations cause the upheaval in the midst of everybody. If somebody owe you, they owe you. They ain't no, they owe we. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, so definitely. And I'm gonna be quiet because I want to hear your thoughts. You understand what I'm saying? So from the hip hop space, the identity politics space, and from Black American culture, you see what I'm saying? Your thoughts in regards to the the vital importance of it, and how can we continue to regain, because we have to teach our babies. You see what I'm saying? We have to teach our babies in that regard.
Right, man. You 100% on point. And I think what we doing, you know what I'm saying, as far as this cultural revolution, I think we on the right track. You know what I'm saying? I think they wasn't really expecting this from us. You know what I'm saying? Because not only has resistance been a part of our culture, and that's like the identifier, that's like the underlying identifier. That's how you know hip hop had to come from us. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't have a history of creating resistance movements. You don't have an equivalent of that. So you got to latch on to what we did. You know what I'm saying? Which would be cool if you kept it respectful. You know what I'm saying? But you have a colonizer mindset, so you can't even maintain the proper level of respect. You know what I'm saying? So in turn, we got to get some straightening. But yeah, that's the identifier right there. You know what I'm saying? Any type of resistance, it comes from us. Always been a part of our culture, and everybody else gets to reap the benefits. And so this movement that we're on now, this cultural revolution that we're on now, it wasn't expected by the dominant society, because another part of our culture has always been to be on that kumbaya shit, to be on that we are the world shit, and to invite everybody in and allow everybody to participate and give everybody credit. That's also have been a part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? But I often reference what I learned from Dr. Amos Wilson when he said a culture is not something that is supposed to be static. Your culture is supposed to be an instrument towards your empowerment. And so when something is a part of your culture no longer works for you, it's not an asset towards your empowerment. You need to do away with that part of your culture. You're supposed to be swift and changeable. And so now that we've done away with that part of our culture, and we started to put our stamp down on our cultural accomplishments, on our unique impact, and we started to exclude people, that's a shocker to the system. That has been a shocker to the system. That's a move that they wasn't expecting from us. You know what I'm saying? And it came from a small number of us within the grassroots not that long ago. And look how much we've already been able to accomplish. We controlling the narrative we controlling the mainstream narrative from the grassroots. We forcing our words and our commentary into the national and international lexicon. You know what I'm saying? And so that's happening within a short time span, within a short period of time. So all we got to do is stay on code and keep doing what we're doing. And absolutely, like you said, we got to pass this to the next generation. So it is incumbent upon us, especially those of us who have children. Even if you don't have your own children, I'm sure there are some children around you, you know what I'm saying, that you have influence over. And so it's definitely incumbent upon us to make sure that they understand these things, that we putting them up on game so that they know who they are, what their birthright is, so that they're able to carry the torch when the time comes. You know what I'm saying? We can't, and it's never too soon to start. Sometimes we underestimate our babies and we think, oh, they too young for that. I don't want to, have that conversation. Like, nah, man, we at war. We at war. We got to prepare the babies. And your mind is the military. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not feeding their mind, society is feeding their mind. If you're not programming them, the school system is programming them. The media is programming them. So we have to be proactive in what we do. We have to be, like I said, swift and changeable, because we still learning and we still growing. And so I believe what we're doing right now at this point in time is the right thing, but times change and we need to be able to change with the times as well. So as we encounter new information, as we encounter new obstacles and new problems, we need to be able to make the proper adjustments as we go along, with our messaging, with our overall narrative, with the vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is static. everything is subject to change. Be like water, like Bruce Lee said.
Most
I know they
definitely.
told you stay away from the Akata, but Mama should have warned you not to play with the Akata.
Mm. Yeah, I told you I had to bring my Akata on. You understand what I'm saying? This is revenge of the Akatas, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like we never got a chance to tell our story. Ain't that's interesting? For all of these years, we never got a chance to tell our story. Our story was always told to us, and that's another thing that I credit Lord Jamal with being brave enough. You understand what I'm saying? To tell our story in the way you want to tell it. It don't matter if it's popular. It don't matter if it's accepted by the masses. We the 5% on the poor part of planet Earth. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So being courageous, being bold, he suffered for it in the industry. You see what I'm saying? He suffered for it in the industry, being
Right.
vocal about it. You see what I'm saying? So opportunities come up, they might look the other way now because of his stance. You see what I'm saying? So we got to support our brother. We got to support you. You see what I'm saying? You there being mentioned in the midst of the fray. You understand by name? Like that's something. You see what I'm saying? If you wanted to take a second to sort of speak on that and educate the people in regards to your name being thrown in the fray type situation in the midst of being one of the vanguards for foundational Black Americans overall, but in hip hop in particular.
I don't know. I wasn't aware that I wasn't aware of that myself. You know what I mean? I play my part. I make my contribution the best way that I know how. You know what I'm saying? Well, whether it be through social media, whether it be through the music, you know what I'm saying? And I try to connect with like-minded individuals. But yeah, like you said, we definitely, Lord Jamal, he's like the only one.
Right.
He's the only one. I'm talking about from that industry
Right.
that's really, really standing on business and not just allowing the false narrative to be pushed like that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is he has truth on his side. And so, the shoulders is strong. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to a lot of conversations, he been on the front line. He was the first one to really address the issues with the rappers wearing dresses and all of that, the feminization and all of that. He was the first one to on a big platform talk about the uh the Elvis thing that they try to do with Eminem. You know what I'm saying?
Most
So,
definitely.
so yeah,
Culture bandits.
people like that, those are our advocates. And if we don't support our advocates, we won't have any advocates. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So definitely gotta support that brother.
So you and your platform, you see what I'm saying? Since you took this public stance in regards to the identity politics and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's been the responses, from the people in totality? I see when you gotta G check a few folks and keep them in their space, but what has it been overall? You see what I'm saying? Is it balanced? What percentage would you say that's for your stance versus against your stance from a platform, from a virtual space, and maybe a physical space?
I think most of us, we have a tendency to focus more on the negative feedback that we get. We have a tendency to hone in on the people that disagree with us more so. And I'm probably guilty of that too. So I probably pay more attention to the naysayers. Um, but if I think about it, it's probably a fair balance. I do get a lot of support, you know, when I'm putting out truth and you know what I'm saying? I'm correcting the narrative on these things with my posts and all of that. There's a fair amount of people in the comment section, you know, that's saluting, that's amening, and that's even adding on. You know what I'm saying? Because I learn a lot from people in the comments as well. You know what I'm saying? From people giving me feedback, people sending me DMs and stuff like that. I learn a lot. It's a lot of very intelligent brothers and sisters who I've been able to attract through social media. You know what I'm saying? But it is kind of almost, I guess I would say, disheartening the amount of people that we see that are still under the illusion of inclusion, the people that we see who are still on this vote blue no matter who, you know what I'm saying? Because when you lay it out plainly, like I feel like I'm a great communicator. I feel like that's one of my gifts, you know what I'm saying? And so when I put together a piece of content to break down a specific message or whatever, I feel like it's very clear for the most part. I think I do a good job of making it clear exactly what I'm trying to say, and you can't really argue with it. And so when I see the amount of people who still they see it's laid out clear as day, like, okay, I'm telling you what it is. You can't really argue with the facts here that I just gave you, but people will still say, well, no matter what, we got to get Trump out. We can't let Trump win. That's very disheartening. You know what I'm saying? Because what that tells me is that the devil put fear inside the black babies. It tells me that. And what the fear really is the fear of empowerment. Too many of our people are afraid of power. They don't want the responsibility. That empowerment comes with a level of responsibility that a lot of people just don't want. A lot of people, they just want to have a comfortable position within the oppression so that they could just keep twerking and shucking and jiving and smoking and drinking, and they get their paycheck and they got the weekends off and they don't want no trouble. You know what I'm saying? But like Dr. Claude Anderson said, the thing that we need the most in this hour is more pain. We need more pain. And that's why I don't mind Donald Trump winning the election, getting back in office. Because when Trump was in office, more of my people was on point. More of my people was getting creative and trying to figure out ways to empower themselves and each other. More of my people were awakening and reading and looking into things and trying to figure out this situation because there was an imminent threat. You know what I'm saying? But when the Democrats get in office, everybody goes back to sleep. It's party time again. It's turn up time again. They don't see the threat. And it's more of a threat, in my opinion. It's more of a direct, imminent threat when we got to deal with the white supremacy on the left. Because don't get me wrong, it's white supremacy on both sides. But the white supremacy on the right, that's white supremacy that most of us can understand. We can see it for what it is, clear as day. And so that makes us, in turn, have to do something about it. But the white supremacy on the left is more sinister and it's more clandestine. And a lot of people don't understand it because it's more sophisticated. And so they don't have the will to resist it. And some don't understand how to resist it. So I feel like, a Donald Trump presidency puts us in a better position, not because of what he's going to do for us, but what it forces us to do for ourselves. Like my brother Ish said, shout out to my brother Ish. He said, fear of building our own. That's exactly what it is.
So let's eat the wrong foods. Makes us act us other than our own self. Make us act other than our own self. See what I'm saying? Being used as a tool and also as a slave. Being used as a tool and also a slave.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so what we received was 100% near correct. And it said near correct because we had to go do our own research. That's why it was 103 books that was given. You see what I'm saying? For us to be able to do our own research. So from that perspective, we can make an informed decision. So if the Muslims in the Islamic tradition, the Orthodox thing said the first thing that they had to do was read, that was the first thing that was revealed. It cut up Bismillah, because if that was the first thing that was there, why are we not reading? You understand what I'm saying? Why are we not reading? Why are we not doing our researching? And why are we scoffing at folks that's bringing research? The craziest thing in the world, sincere, is September 13, 1994. We about to come up on the 30-year anniversary of this crime bill that they talk about stop and frisk now. We lived through stop and frisk. You understand what I'm saying? We lived through stop and frisk. We lived through it. The 25,000 RoboCops that they unleashed on the streets after having us watch and cheer for RoboCop on the damn TV. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so
and now we really about to see RoboCop.
Right. 1994 crime bill. The guy who said he compared you to jungle people, right? Jungle people. I don't want my children going to school with these animals. And you see what I'm saying? And then he's supposed to have changed his mind and all this other stuff. Like a leopard could change his stripes and go down and sign this bill into law. And then this head prosecutor that was out here charging us to the game for the game. You come back and you vote for this thing that said he didn't want you in his schools with his children, sign this bill, and then this 3-strike law that's enacted. All of these things coming from this legislation, then this dude pop back up and say, if you don't know who to vote for, in your face, not behind no wall, not no recording that they discovered, in your face, went on an ambiguous black-looking platform and said, if you don't know who to vote for between me and him, you ain't black. You ain't black. And then you blacked them into office.
I think you need to drop a bomb for yourself on that.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you blacked him into office and he blacked you out of the occasion. 3.5 years. You see what I'm saying? So then this one put the tap dance shoes on in her black face. She took the red dot from the middle of her forehead and covered it up. And came back and told you that she was listening to Snoop Dogg and Tupac. And she running around with hot sauce in her purse and she was cooking greens in the bathtub. You understand what I'm saying? Masquerading, playing the game right in front of your face. The same game that you see on the TV screen. The same game that you see in regards to this. Masquerading with your identity and using this identity crisis that you have and the wanting for representation to be able to lure you back to sleep. So this whole space right here, Lord, like the ability to be able to see this, like this is clearly, understanding to see things clearly for what they are, not for what they appear to be. So this thing appears to be alike when clearly it's unalike. And you could say after this time that this leopard could change its stripes, and then all of a sudden, you could look at these same ones who had nothing to do with you or for you and told you to your face, I'm not going to do anything for you specifically. Nothing for you. And then when they put their get up on, you put your get up on right with them and start walking with them and raising funds for them like they need your money. You raise their funds for them like they need your money. They don't need your money. They don't even need your damn vote, to be honest. But they need your mind and they need your heart. They need your mind and your heart to be divisive with your loved ones, and with your family, going back and forth against your loved ones, because you ain't going back and forth against your enemies online. You're going back and forth with your loved ones and causing rifts where they can conquer the divided. Abio doing the last pause, our elder brother, he said they don't conquer and divide. They divide the conquered. That's what he told me, face to face, mouth to ear. He said they don't divide and conquer. They conquer the divided. So in that space, when you fractionalize in the midst of this space, after they take control in the midst of the fray, what you do? You go back and change. You go back and change. And you supported it, and you argue with your loved ones, so your families and your relationships and your familial bonds is wrecked behind two characters that they put in front of you. And they say, oh, we're voting for the lesser of two evils. And last time I checked, Lord, evil is still evil.
All
You
day,
see what
every
I'm
day.
saying? Like we didn't see the inoculations getting passed out, and people lined up in droves to get them
Man,
inoculations. They had an inoculation if you had a baby in your womb.
man,
They had an inoculation if you had an unborn baby, a baby still developing in the womb, for you and the baby in the womb. And then just disappear. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know how you get the shell game or the 3 card money or the 3 card molly on the corner and shit. They just go set up shop someplace else. Like that's it.
right,
Oh, we got that money up, we out.
right,
So now they
right,
back again. As if they ain't hear Malcolm say, and now they bring up you. All of these people be talking this Malcolm stuff to you until it's in their face. It's right in
right.
their face. And
Exactly.
now they bring up you. You ain't seen them for 3.5 years. Now they bring up you. And they don't even think to approach you intellectually. They think to approach you as they see you as somebody to party with, as somebody to party with in their party and to play on and to play with. And then dump your ass out the car when they get elected. You
Slum
understand
village.
what I'm saying? So, yo,
And
I
look,
was
man,
glad. Go ahead, Lord. Add on.
and look, um, they about to bring out the big guns, by the way.
Word is bond.
Right? So prepare to see Beyonce knows out here stomping for Kamala.
Right. Right.
Don't be surprised if you see Kendrick Lamar family, which is very strange to me because I'm wondering where all the people was at. We just witnessed the assassination of Drake based on being an outsider, based on cultural appropriation, based on cosplaying and all of that. Where are all of these people who understood what that meant, but they don't understand what we're saying about this chick? When it's the same dynamic, and it's even more so, it's more appropriate with her because at least Drake has a father who's a foundational Black American. She has no connection to the culture whatsoever, but she running the same play, and we telling you she not like us, and you don't get it all of a sudden. But you made Not Like Us the #1 record. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why we keep talking about the identity part of it is because they keep trying to make believe that she's something that she's not. If they wasn't doing that, we wouldn't even talk about that because really what we're concerned with is the policies. And the only policies that they have for us are benign neglect policies, meaning the illusion of inclusion, meaning everybody gets the benefit off of our struggle. Right now, well, this is not right now. This is something that Biden and Kamala have been doing, but you can go on the whitehouse.gov right now and look at the fact sheet that has the title, Vice President Harris announces new efforts to expand capital access and contracting opportunities for minority-owned and underserved businesses at the Freedmen's Bank Forum. Now, who are the freedmen? Everybody ain't know. The freedmen are not the minorities and the underserved. Freedmen refers to a specific lineage. That's us. Those of us who built the country. Those of us who were emancipated in 1865. It doesn't refer to all of these other groups that are getting the benefits and the tangibles from it, though. When you read through this thing, they talking about, the Hispanics and everybody under the sun, really. I want y'all to go read it. I'm not going to read it here, but I want y'all to go read it. This is on the whitehouse.gov in the briefing room where they do the fact sheets. And it's from October of last year. Again, the title is Vice President Harris announces new efforts to expand capital access and contracting opportunities for minority-owned and underserved businesses at the Freedmen's Bank Forum.
Read that legalese real quick in the title one more time.
One more time for the people in the back. Vice President Harris announces new efforts to expand capital access and contracting opportunities for who? Minority owned and underserved businesses. Let me break a little bit of that down though.
Break it down.
What does minority owned mean? Who's a minority?
Right.
White women are minorities.
Right.
A gay white man is a minority.
Right.
Somebody who's left-handed is a minority. If you have a disability, you're a minority. Right? Damn near anybody could be a minority. So it's for everybody. It's for minority-owned businesses and underserved businesses.
Same thing. Same categories.
And where they introducing this at? They introducing it at the Freedmen's Bank Forum.
Right.
Some shit that was built for us.
Right in front of your face. Again, right in front of your face. Where's the Democratic National Convention? In Chicago. Right in front of your face. Like right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. It's what? Almost 60 years since the last one been held there. That was in 1968. 1968. You know who was assassinated right there? April 4th, 1968. Do you know the history of Chicago? You understand? Like they're doing this shit right in your face. Like literally right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. You remember what happened at the Summer Olympics of 1968? Who was there standing up? Who was there with their fist up? And who lost everything because of the Summer Olympics? They were there. John Carlos, Tommy Smith, right there, 1968. Dr. King got killed April 4th, 1968. Little Bobby Hutton, the Black Panther Party for self-defense, was killed in April the 6th, 2 days after. You understand what I'm saying? 2 days after. 2 days after.
Right. And look at the backdrop of what we're experiencing now.
Right.
In real time. We got the Summer Olympics going on once again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look at the backdrop of everything that's taking place. Like we living in some real historical times. And so the thing is, you know, our actions today is going to determine whether the future generation is going to be able to look upon us with pride, or as if they're going to say the elders failed us.
Right. That's real. So the same immigration problem that was happening in 68 is happening right now. Same stuff. All of the same issues that we were talking about then, they're still there right now. They're still there right now. So when you look at this terminology, these legalese, they're playing these games. You see what I'm saying? Like people say, "Oh, it's chess, not checkers." They don't know how to play chess, and life don't even move like a chessboard. My life don't move like a chessboard. You can't. You can try to predict the move. It's there to prepare your imagination, but life don't move like that. Life happens instantaneously. You see what I'm saying? You can't even move a piece and hit the clicker. You see what I'm saying? The call of time. It's like that. It's like, yo, I was just with him yesterday.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like it don't move like that. Systematically is to prepare your mind to seek to anticipate moves from a perspective that's calculated, because your enemy is very cunning and very calculated. And they learn from the best. You see what I'm saying? They learn from the best. So what they learned, they got from Yakub's forgotten technology. And what does that mean? That means when you study somebody long enough, you can anticipate their moves. This is why folks are relegating things in regards to chess. When you study somebody long enough, you know what I mean? Like when you came on here last time when we was building and I played that clip from Sugar Hill, how many times did we see that in Sugar Hill and it ain't registered?
Right. Facts.
It was right there in front of our face. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, you do your thing, I do my thing. We can't work with Akata. He said at a time, there used to be a time where we looked at him for our history and our culture. And Ray Nathan said, you want history? Read National Geographic. So the same way they have National Geographic to show us about their world, they have these news stations to show the world about our state of affairs. So why would they be going to see Medina, of all places, to have this Democratic National Convention because you go to Medina to build an army. You go to Medina to build an army. So if you can build an army in Medina, you could come back and take Mecca. That's Islamic history for the Muslims that's out there. Prophet Muhammad left Mecca and went into Medina and came back with an army and ain't had to hurt nobody. He just straight took over. He took over. You see what I'm saying? So he was there and he rose up in the political structure. All of these things, they know exactly where to go. This is why the last dude came with this Arabic name. You understand what I'm saying? So Kamala is another Arabic name. They playing these games right in front of your face. So if you fall asleep at the wheel again, you're gonna be doomed to repeat the same cycles. The same cycles. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you was able to come through and add on with me. You know what I mean? This was a long awaited type of situation. You see what I'm saying? To be able to build with you in real time while things are happening and unfolding. So when they start coming to pass, they're gonna be looking at you like, damn, yo Lord, you told us about this. You see what I'm saying? Go back and do some critical analysis. You know, emotionalism ain't gonna get it all the time. It might get you started. It ain't gonna continue through that space. So
yes, indeed.
It's very critical for you to be able to go do your research and not be misled. There's a bunch of propaganda, and like you said, Lord, they're about to turn up with these videos. They already put some rappers in front of your face twerking, and I seen the same play you seen in regards to the They Not Like Us, because they already did the test run with the BET Awards. They already did it. You see what I'm saying? So whether they do it or not, they already did it. They supplanted it. So it was a reason why this was a precursor and was pushed around in the way that it was pushed around. Because he married to somebody who not like us. He got a child with somebody who not like us. You see what I'm saying? So the allegiance is there. So when he look at her, he see her. There's no difference. You see what I'm saying? There's no difference between nobody on neither one of these sides. They all are dealing with these things that are unalike. So we have to, in order, like one of the guys used to tell me, A alike in order to be alike, in order to see alike. You see what I'm saying? We have to A alike in order to be alike, in order to see alike. So in this space, in regards to that, don't fall for that banana in the tailpipe shit that we've been falling for. So I give you the last words. Anything you want to plug? I know I see that fly book over there. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about the Godcast? You want to talk about anything you got going on? Anything you want to push and promote? Man, you got the floor, Lord.
I don't want to do too much, man. First, I just want to say thank you again for having me on. You know what I'm saying? Always an honor and a pleasure to build with the God, this illustrious platform. Anybody that's tuning in on my end, make sure that you subscribe, do the Knowledge Radio. Make sure you follow my brother on all social media platforms as well. And if you're not following me already, I'm at Sincere Love to God on all social media platforms. Check me out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know about everything that we got going on. Like you said, we got the Godcast and all of that stuff. But right now, I just want everybody to go get this shirt right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the Master's Table. This is the most recent album from me and my brother DJ RP Beats. I heard it was a masterpiece. I don't know. Don't let me tell it, but that's what I heard. It was a masterpiece. But go get this shirt right here, man.
Definitely a masterpiece.
We got the master teachers all at the table right here, man. If you can't see it, you know what I'm saying? We got Dr. Amos Wilson. You know what I'm saying? We got Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. We got Shahrazad Ali, Dick Gregory. We got Dr. Claude Anderson. Got, Brother Nearly Fuller on there. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a shirt, man. Go to what is it? KingByAnyMeans.com. Follow me on Instagram. Click the link in my bio. Get you a shirt, man. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to Rome, man, from Melvin Air Podcast. You understand? Y'all hear that voice at the beginning of the joint on the intro? You know what I'm saying? That's the seal of the God, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's the seal of the God on there. Who wants to be your Melvin Air? It's a man.
Air Podcast.
We need to get back on the manhood movement, man. We out here asleep at the wheel. You see what I'm saying? So salute to you, man. Salute to your audience. Salute to your team, the dream team. You know what I mean? The whole crew over there. You know, shout out to Mama Love. Shout out to Nice T. Shout out to the whole fam, man. It's a movement over there.
Appreciate that.
The Godcast, man. Word is bond, man. So we out, man. We ended off with Death is a Myth, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Family, always remember, man, I am not the master teacher. I am only the master student and signal booster for the voices of the new black media. Peace and black love.
A big sound and be a big tune. Shit. The fuck else can happen? Think much more.
Wish I could resurrect Prodigy, cause really I'm nothing more than the infamous progeny. Just like Fife, he was a part of me, and Google from Gangstar to me is the main artery. And death comes in threes. It's either that or Jay Dilla or ODB. Just needed company. Telephone. It's XXX Tentacion. He said he's glad to be home. He linked up with Big L. They made incredible shit. He said nobody really dies, homie. Death is a myth. It gave me comfort to know that they not suffering. But who gon' raise my kids if I suddenly kick the bucket? I pushed that thought to the back of my mind. My son 15 now. I'm like, what happened to time? That shit flew by. My daughter be a teen before July. I'm trying to stick around to see many moons and blue skies.
No, man. Blood, sweat, and tears. Niggas is dead and shit. The fuck else can happen? Ain't much more, son.
I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines until my physical shell decomposes and then it vaporizes. I gotta say these rhymes over these RP beats while my heart still beats. Now watch them plagiarize my whole persona cause they know no honor. They wanna crop your picture out of the frame after they photobomb you. Just like Martin, just like the minister. Everybody claimed they was down after they finished them. And Garvey said, look for me in the whirlwind. And Tupac quoted him on me and my girlfriend. And let me know that energy's still here in the world since that spirit in Southampton for them that came from Port-au-Prince. Are we recording this? These messages coming through from the other side. It's something we can't afford to miss. Death is a myth, we only transition. And once we find the meaning of life, then you will understand the mission.
I guess you here to get your money right, huh?
All the time, man, you know, all that is cool for the image and all that. I'd rather invest in some real estate, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, can you repeat that again, man? You up and coming artist, what did you say you want to do?
I say invest in some assets as opposed to trick off on some liabilities like diamonds.
They killed Nipsey Hussle, he was teaching wealth and showed niggas how to fish so they could feed theyself. Gunned down at 33, that shit is irking me. What circumstances allowed a fuck boy to murder king? Right in front of his castle, my mind baffled. They should rename Slauson and make it Nipsey Hussle Avenue. Having strong enemies is a blessing. Cherish the breath you breathe, it could leave in a second. He wasn't nothing like you other rap niggas. Same block he hustled on, he bought it back, nigga. Who you know showed the babies how to computer code. Serial entrepreneur plus a beautiful soul. And even though this bigger than rap, best album of 2018 was Victory Lap, no cap. And we gon' keep rapping for Nip. And may your name live forever, homie, death is a myth.